Hey guys, it's me Gabby from Probaholic, and today I will be reviewing The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. This is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles. The first book is The Kiss of Deception. I read The Kiss of Deception last year and gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I really loved it. I have a book review on it, and I'll post down below. Even though I don't really recommend you watching it, it was one of my first reviews ever, and it really isn't that great. Basically, this world revolves around three kingdoms. We have Morgan, we have Dalbrack, and we have Venda. So our main protagonist is Leah. She is a princess from Morgan. And on her wedding day, she decides that she does not want to conform and to follow the rules and everything that everyone has been telling her whole life. And on her wedding day, she escapes. She runs away from Civica, which is the kingdom's capital, and she goes to another small town where she becomes a tavern maid. There she starts, to meet new people, and the two new people that she meets, one of them is an assassin from Venda, and Venda is kind of this cast out kingdom that no one really respects, and because Leah's fiance, or like her future groom to be, was the Prince of Dalbrack, Venda did not want the two kingdoms to unite in order to isolate them even more. So it is the assassin's goal to kill the princess so that there is no opportunity in the future for the two kingdoms to unite. The second person, as you probably guessed, is the Prince of Dalbrack, who went after Leah to find out why on earth would anyone, escape such a good alliance, and he's curious to find about her personality and the reasons behind her escape. So that's basically the first book. And the second book is just like mind-blowingly different, and it takes place in another kingdom, and we have a lot of character development. And as you probably can say from my excitement, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I really did love it. The third book came out this month, or maybe last month. I still haven't bought it, and probably I'll buy it in a few months, because right now I have accumulated quite huge amount of books. So without further ado, I'll give you a really brief summary of the second book, and it will not contain any spoilers. It's for the people who have read the first book, or for people who are just interested in this series, and then I'll have a bit longer discussion on what happened in this book, which will contain spoilers. So now for the non-spoilery part. The second book, as I said, revolves in another kingdom, and there we see more of Leah's powers. And I don't mean like she's very badass, but she isn't, like Selena Sardatian, or like, I don't know, someone with a sword. She uses her mind to get what she wants, and she's put in these situations where men are mostly dominant, and she shows them that she is brave enough, that she is smart enough, and that she can do whatever is necessary for her and the people that she loves to survive. Now that I say love, if you have read the first book, and if you just hear the summary, you probably guessed that there is a love triangle between Leah, the prince, and the assassin, and that carries on in the second novel as well. But in the second novel, it's much more clear with who of the two she chooses, and I did appreciate that, because even though she doesn't choose the person I want, it's still nice to see, I choose this person, I love this person, but I still care about this person, because when you say, I love them both, I can't decide, it's kind of too much Twilight for me, and I don't really appreciate it. Except for that, in the beginning of a lot of chapters in the first and second book, we see these little religious texts. I don't know if you can see, yeah. And in the beginning, I didn't really, I wasn't really interested in them, because they were just stories and stuff like that. So some of them in the first book I just skipped through, but in the second book it actually turns out that they were quite important, and everything gets tied up together, and I really did enjoy that. This book is also told from several points of view. We have Leah, we have Pauline, who is her friend, we have the assassin Caden, and we have the prince Rafe. So this is basically all I have to say without spoiling anything. I do recommend this book. It's really fantastic. And if you have read the first book and you weren't quite sure if you want to continue, which I'm not sure if it's possible because the first book was amazing, even if that's possible, you should read the second book. It definitely deals a lot more in depth with character development, and as I said, the setting is different, so the character strengths are put into question, and it's really, really interesting. So now, if you haven't read the book, I have to say goodbye to you now, and read the book and come back so that we can discuss it. Bye. So now, for those of you who have read this book, as I said, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really appreciated every single aspect of it. So we have four main storylines: Pauline, Rafe, Caden, and Leah. About Pauline's one, I really believe that the things that happen right now in the second book will play a very important role in the third book, about the queen's motives, about the chancellor, about the king. I do believe that will play a really important part in the next book because it really wasn't dealt that much in this one. About Rafe, I think that he definitely isn't my favorite character because I prefer Caden, but it was really interesting to see more of his true self because he was more of the prince that he was brought up to be and not the farm person that he was pretending to be. Here we saw that he's also willing to cheat and lie in order to protect Leah, which I do believe brings a lot to his character. About Caden, I really do love his character because we see how he's changing, we see how Leah is influencing him and how much he cares for her. And I was so sad when she decided to leave and to leave him behind and be with Rafe. On one hand, I understand her because her personality is more like Rafe's, but on the other, I do believe that her relationship with Caden will play a very important role in the third book when it will be decided what the future of the Three Kingdoms will be. I do believe that the third book will focus a lot on that, how the Three Kingdoms will interact, because right now we have no Commissar of Venda, which is very, very important because Leah escaped, and maybe she will become the next Commissar. Maybe it will be Caden, maybe it will be Grizz, but what if it is someone like Malik who wants to kill off all the other, kingdoms? I think that the last character I have left to discuss is Leah, and I really, really appreciate her because, as I said, she is really strong and independent character, and we have seen her grow so much from this kind of arrogant princess or a bit self-absorbed. Right now she's very, very independent, as I said, strong-minded, and has a lot of will in her. So I really appreciated her interactions with the small children and the way she told stories and how she figured out that Morgan, Venda, and the person who was telling the story, that they're all related, and that the things that she knows from her past might not be so true. I really love her changing her her concepts and what she knows all the time, and being open to suggestions, and even being open to the culture, and starting to dress like Vanden. And there was this quote from the Commissar that she becomes Vanden, more Vanden every day, and I believe that shows how open-minded she is, and I really appreciated that from her. About the ending, I'm not exactly sure what will happen in the next book. I mean, storyline, I know some aspects, as I already said, but I hope that Leah and Rafe do get back to Dalbrek, even though if they do, we're not sure how they're going to be welcomed, because as Rafe said, because of the reason that he's not there, his father might be very, very angry with him, and he might not allow them to stay there, especially now that Leah is pronounced to be this, enemy of the state. So, having this in mind, I really, really appreciated and adored this book. But I think that even if the characters weren't that great, even if the plot wasn't that great, which it was, the writing, the way the words lined up one after another. It was so fantastic. I really, really loved it. I don't think I have read such an amazing book with such an amazing storytelling in a, I don't know, in a very, very long time. The way Mary Pearson writes is just out of this world. I really can't explain it. I hope, like, because you have read the book, you know what I'm talking about. So, in conclusion, 5 out of 5 stars, amazing characters, amazing storytelling, amazing everything, and I'm dying to read the next book. So yeah, thank you so much, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed reading this amazing book, which just blew my mind away.